Welcome back. Sources tell CNBC TV18 that bankers are evaluating 5 bids for JP Infratech. Remember, the bids were opened yesterday. Ritu Singh, who has been giving us the heads up on all these deals before anyone else, is joining us on the phone line. Ritu, what have you picked up?
Just as you said, 5 bids is what JP Infratech is currently, lenders for JP Infratech are currently evaluating. These 5 players to begin with are JSW Group through its arm JSW Infrastructure, Kotak Mahindra Bank in a joint venture with Cube Investments, a Chinese real estate company, and Suraksha ARC. Are among the highest bidders. Adani Group has also put in a bid, but that is significantly lower than the other 4 players. We understand that all of the 4 players have made sufficient bids to cover the home buyers' claims. That is, the bids are over 9,000 crore rupees each. Adani Group's bid is the only bid that is lower than 7,000 crore rupees. Remember, there were over 10-15 offers made for JP Infratech, but a lot of those offers did not include the entire assets, but specific assets of the group, which is why lenders rejected all of those bids. Now, from the bids that have been open so far, and where only, not very fine details have been seen yet, JSW Infra's offer seems the better of the lot with a package of 9,914 crore rupees because it offers 6,000 crores of upfront cash payment to the lenders, and it has also offered to buy 1,000 acres of land for about 9,000 crore rupees from the lenders. Now, when you compare it to the offers from some of the other players, where, for instance, Kotak has has offered about 9,000 crore rupees, but instead it has asked, instead of 1,000 acres, it has asked for 2,000 acres of land. In other cases, perhaps the instruments that they've offered are not very, acceptable to the lender. So JSW seems the better of the lot. But in this case, the drawback is that JSW has asked bankers to settle all dues, including those from the home buyers, the farmers' compensations on the land. So there will be some haircut that the banks will have to take. So therefore, there will be a meeting again soon to evaluate which of these offers to really go ahead with.
Okay, Ritu, thanks a lot for that. In fact, next up we have Prashant Jain, the joint MD and CEO of JSW Energy, who joins in to talk, of course, about the sector, but about a whole host of other issues as well. Mr. Jain, good morning and thanks for joining in. I just wanted your thoughts on this news flow that my colleague just spoke about, where JSW Infra has offered a huge package of almost 10,000 crores for JP Infra.
Yeah, good morning. Actually, the bid has been made by JSW Infrastructure, and I am not privy to any of such development.
Okay, we thought since you were also in the infrastructure space broadly, you have some insight into it. Okay, well, Prashant, to get to the reason why we invited you, your plans for the EV space, I believe you have signed an MOU with a couple of states. Just give us some details on the money involved, the technology partners, and by when will this game start yielding you money?
Yeah, good morning, Lata. So JSW Energy decided to enter into electric vehicle space, and so with that aspiration, we have already signed MOU with Government of Gujarat and Government of Maharashtra. And as you know, that government is in the process of bringing out new EV policy. Recently, Government of Maharashtra has already announced it. So we are in discussion with both the governments to work on the modalities, and then we will be deciding that where we will be setting our facility. As regards to the project, our idea is to build a complete automotive company which will be with a lot of models which will be for passenger car segment, and we are expecting that the first car will be launched in between 3 to 4 years time frame from now. And as we mentioned in our past conversation, that the board has proposed at this point of time to do the complete feasibility study, but we are estimating close to 4,000 crore rupees capital expenditure to start with.
Okay, and how much will go as equity from the listed JSW Energy?
So that is will be decided over a period of time as we complete our complete business plan. So it will be a mix of both equity and debt, which will be through a complete because we have made a 100% subsidiary, JSW EV Limited, and that subsidiary will be carrying out, and then equity will be funded from JSW Energy into the company.
And who will the technology partners be?
So we are at this point of time working with various technology partners, both in automotive segment as well as in battery segment. So we are in the process of finalization. In due course, we will be informing.
Okay. Prashant, good morning. How's the traditional business doing in terms of average merchant rates? Any new short-term or long-term PPA?
So good morning, Anuj. As regards to power business is growing pretty well. After what we saw in last 5 years, the demand grew only 4% CAGR between 2012 to 2017. First time in the current financial year, we have seen the demand has picked up. In first quarter of the current financial year, we saw the demand grew 5.1%, which grew 5.7% in quarter 2 and quarter 3 6.6%. So quarter on quarter the demand is growing, and that is what is also reflecting in the higher PLF countrywide, and no new capacity addition is taking place. So that is what is also reflecting in the merchant prices. If you see the last whole year average, the merchant prices were 2 rupees 69 paisa, which has gone up to 3 rupees 19 paisa in the current financial year. So the oversupply situation is going to get bridged over a couple of quarters. So we are pretty much excited about that. So we see a lot of consolidation opportunities going forward.
Okay. Well, just wanted to know generally how the business is. Are you expecting that you're going to see any further PPAs?
Yeah, so if you look at we started our long-term PPA portfolio with 64% on 1st of April in the current financial year. As we are speaking, we are close to 70% long-term PPA portfolio, and we are expecting to close this financial year by 74% portfolio. So precisely, if you see during the financial year, we have increased our portfolio by close to 11%. And that will further add up to another 10-11% in next financial year. So we are seeing that visibility. More and more short-term, medium-term PPAs are happening, and long-term PPAs are happening. So going forward, this situation is going to converge.
So we just spoke to the Power Secretary a couple of days back, and he was saying the industry PLF itself is kind of reaching 60. Yours is what, 58? When do you see that improving?
So if as I said that our long-term PPA portfolio is 70%, so 70% is totally tied up. So which is running with complete normative PLF, and the balance 30% which is running at this point of time, which is on merchant open capacity, there our PLF is close to 45%, and that we are seeing continuous improvement going forward.
Okay. Are you looking at acquiring any stressed assets, any of the NCLT cases? Because, both Bina and Tamnar were both shelved, but anything that you're looking at next?
Yeah, sure, because that's what I mentioned, that I see a lot of consolidation in the sector, and there are a lot of stressed assets, and we are interested in most of the assets. So we are looking assets which are closer to mining areas, which are having partly fuel linkage or some partly power tie-up, and so we are pretty much interested in most of the assets which are stressed at this point of time. So
only, right?
With the new circular which has recently come, we feel that a lot of assets will come for consolidation.
Oh yes, of course. You mean the new circular from the Reserve Bank, right?
Yeah.
You expect that there will be large haircuts and you will have to assume much less debt in those? And will they all be thermal?
So right now the thermal assets are stressed at this point of time. We are seeing a lot of transactions in renewable space which are taking place, but that sector is not yet stressed. So in case of thermal assets, yes, the worms are out of can at this point of time. So there were a lot of assets which were under SDR or S4A or deep restructuring, where the it was under the standstill, and based on the new reference rate, lenders will have to make provision, and then within 180 days it has to go to NCLT.
All right. Prashant, thanks a lot for your time today. Good talking to you. That's JSW Energy.
It's a good takeaway that they are interested in buying stressed power assets. There were not too many.
Yes, you know, since we are on the topic of power, I don't think we addressed this in our top 10. The news that we broke yesterday that Power Minister is going to meet Mundra power projects of Tata Power and Adani Power, because for long they've been calling for they've offered 51% equity
for 1 rupee.
For 1 rupee. I think that's going to be the next big trigger for these two stocks, and that's why today I think both these stocks right now are making highs of the morning, Tata Power and Adani Power as well, because this was the long-standing issue, which is something that the companies had been asking for. So since we were on that topic and the stocks were making highs of the morning, I thought I'll just revisit that topic. But anyway, let's move on. We have Ashwini Gujral, Mitesh Thakkar and Sandeep Wagle now joining us for some fresh trades at 10 a.m.